Hi everyone, Inat Kessler here with a new video tutorial, and today I'm going to show you a really cool project that I called Pocket in a Pocket mini album. So basically what we're going to create is pocket inside a pocket inside a pocket 5 times. You have a cutting guide that you can download from a link in the description under the video with all the measurements, and you need them because you have a lot. So we're going to start with our tag. This is piece A. And first we're going to cover it with 2 cover papers on both sides. I'm using cover papers, but you can use photos, and this is why it's a mini album, because basically each pocket can hold photos. So instead of cover papers, just change it to photos and add those. Or you can make a combination between photos and cover papers. So now we're going to take piece B, and we're going to score it on the short side at 1/2 inch and 5 inches. Basically, we're going to create our first pocket. So 1/2 inch and 5 inches. And then on the long side, we're going to score it at 3 3/8. Then we're going to fold our piece on all the fold lines and create our first pocket. Like I said, you have all the measurements, including instructions, in the cutting guide that you can download from a link in the description under the video. Now we're going to cut the corner from the edge all the way to that center fold line, and then cut a little bit on the diagonal like this. And then do the same thing on the other side. Cut along the score line and then a little bit on the diagonal like this. So you can already see how we're going to build our pocket. We have 2 tabs, and then we're going to apply glue on the tabs, close it like this. Let's make sure first that the tag fits. And then we're going to have our first pocket. This is going to be a side pocket. So I'm going to bring 2 circle punches, one for our pocket. Just going to make sure that I know where to punch. I'm going to find the center point. So I'm using a smaller circle punch, a 1-inch punch for the pocket itself, and then 1 1/8 circle punch for the cover paper, and this will give me a really good edges, like margins around the edges. So punch the cover paper, and now you can go ahead and assemble your side pocket. You see, it sits perfectly like this. So apply glue on the top and the bottom tabs, and then close the pocket. Cover it with your 2 cover papers on both sides, and again, you can replace that with photos and then have photos on the pocket on the front and the back instead of cover papers. Of course, you can also add cover papers and photos on top of them as well if you want. So this is our first pocket. We can go ahead and cover the other side and then insert our tag inside the pocket like this. Now we're going to make our second pocket. It's going to be a top pocket. We're going to score piece C on the short side at 1/2 inch and 4 inches. And then on the long side at 4 3/4 inch. Again, I remind you, you have all those measurements that I'm now saying in the cutting guide. So this is our second pocket. Again, we're going to cut along the score lines from the edge until the center score line and cut a little bit diagonally and do the exact same thing on the other side. And again, this is a top loading pocket and everything is going to go inside that pocket. And we're going to create it exactly the same way as we did our first pocket, making sure that it fits, and then apply glue to the top and bottom tabs. Close the pocket. Before that, don't forget to punch out the little half circles. It's really difficult to do after you close the pocket. Have to calculate where the half point is with all the half inches and eighth of an inch and so on. So the smaller circle punches the pocket and the larger circle punches the paper, the cover paper. And again, if you are, you can substitute the papers for photos like I said before. Okay, applying glue to the tabs, closing the pocket and adding our cover papers on the front and the back. So that's our second pocket. We have 2 more to make. And now our pocket inside a pocket becomes a little bit thicker. So for our next 2 pockets, we will have to compensate for that, making sure that everything we tuck in the pocket enters very smoothly. So we're going to create spines along the pockets to make sure that even though we have a lot to insert, it will not be a problem. I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to take piece D and we're going to score it. We're going to start with the long side and we're going to score it at 3 3/4 and 3 7/8. And this is the 1/8 spine that I was talking about. On the short side, we're going to score it at 1/2 inch, 5/8 of an inch, 5 5/8, and 5 3/4. So now we have 2 little spines on each side as well. This will make our pocket wider. It might be slightly difficult to fold, and now we're going to cut on along the inside. We have 2 score lines, so on the inside score line all the way to the second score line and a little bit on the diagonal. So on the inside score line all the way to the second score line and on the diagonal like this. And now we continue and do the pocket the exact same way. Make sure to fold along both score lines that you did. This will give you the little spine that I was talking about. Okay. And now you see this is the spine. This is the extra width that we need for all the things that we insert inside the pocket. So fold along the other 2 score lines on both sides, and then we're going to punch. This is again a side pocket because we're going to alternate between a side pocket and a top pocket. And I'm going to also punch the cover and then and cover the pocket like I did before. And let's close the pocket, and we're going to apply glue only from the edge until the first score line. From the edge until the first score line. It's really important, so we'll have our spines free to compensate for the thickness of the insert. Okay, make sure that you align the paper with the score lines. Now we can cover the pocket with our cover papers. Again, you can cover it with photos, making it a mini album. And then we will be able to insert everything inside the pocket and make our last pocket. Okay, isn't that cool? A pocket inside a pocket inside a pocket. So now it is wide enough to fit this inside. For our last pocket, we're going to take piece E, and on the long side we're going to score it at 5 1/4 and 5 3/8, and on the short side we're going to score it at 1/2 inch, 5/8, 4 1/2, and 4 5/8. Again, we're going to create a 1/8 of an inch spine on all 3 sides of the pocket, because by now all our pockets inside the pockets are pretty bulky, so we need room to fit them inside. And again, we're going to do everything exactly the same way. We're going to cut along the inside score line and then all the way up to the second score line and cut a little bit along the diagonal, and do the exact same thing on the other side. Cut along the inside score line and then cut all the way up to second score line and cut on the diagonal. Fold on both score lines. Make sure that everything fits, and then close the pocket. Of course, this is a top pocket, so we're going to score our half circles on the top. I'm just cutting because I didn't cut all the way to the second score line, so I have to cut that a little bit more. Okay, let's see that it fits inside perfectly. That's great. Now we're going to punch the top pocket and the cover paper, apply glue to the tabs, and close the pocket. I really like this project. I think it's really, really cool. It can be a mini album on its own, and it can be an insert inside another mini album or a scrapbook page. It can also be a card. It can be a gift card holder. You can insert money inside as well. You can make combinations between papers and photos, and you can play with it. You can keep on making more pockets. Of course, you'll have to measure everything, which is a little bit of a headache, but I think these are 4 pockets are enough. So thank you very much for joining me. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the little bell icon to be notified when I upload a new video, so you won't miss anything and you'll be able to follow all the tutorials and make all the projects. So let's see how it looks when it's ready. It's really, really fun. Okay. And of course you can embellish it with stickers. Don't add too many embellishments to make it too bulky, or the pockets will not fit inside each other. But stickers and other things, other papers can fit. Okay, so this is everything, and then let's close it. So you have a pocket inside a pocket, inside a pocket, inside a pocket. Isn't that cool? Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time.